Yes, we're back. It's Nicole. It's Hairly Relatable. So it's episode number 3. And this is actually a re recording of an episode that I recorded already. And I didn't like it. And now there was the pilot release. And most likely the first episode has also been released. So here we are, Hairly Relatable, number 3. And welcome again. We are coming to you from beautiful Revenge Salon. I was told to stop touching my hair. And I have glasses now because obviously I can't see what I'm doing. I can't see the computer. I was told to sit closer to the microphone. Thank you for your feedback, your comments. The microphone wire was hanging all over the place. I'm eating it for lunch again. I have an outline with me so I'm not getting lost in the matrix over here of the computer, but we're doing it. We're getting it. And I am confident that it is going to get easier and better, but this podcasting situation is not for the weak, and I'm going to stick with it. So again, I'm your host, Nicole. Welcome to Hairly Relatable, number 3. And my quick disclaimer that the views don't necessarily reflect the policies of Beautiful Revenge Salon in Westwood, New Jersey, where I work. And let's get to it. Today, we are going to be talking about client relations and not relationships, because we are not going down that road. Some of you might have, but we're not. Client relations. I think this is one of my strong suits in the industry, and client relations are built on a number of things because it's been told to me that it's probably 70% of your personality, of who you are and what you bring to the table as a hairstylist, and maybe 30% of your work, to be honest with you. So let's get into it. Does it really, really, really matter to a client if you're giving them the best experience and you're giving them a crappy haircut? Or does it matter if you're actually giving them the best haircut and maybe you're a stylist that has an ego or a chip on their shoulder and you're not so pleasant to be around, but you do really good work and they keep coming back to you? I think that that's one of the things that you need to kind of ground yourself when you step behind that chair. Is what kind of hairstylist do you want to be? A lot of us kind of go into this saying that we want to be really nice and really gentle with our clients. And sometimes it could come back to kind of bite you in the rear end, because what happens too is when you really are that kind of coddling kind of hairstylist, as I kind of tended to be in the beginning, you don't create those boundaries. And what happens is you get a little bit of taken advantage of. Can your boundaries be misconstrued as arrogance? Yes, it could, if it's not portrayed as being gentle, or if it comes across being a little bit of aggressive, I'm sure. But I think in today's world, it's very, very important to set them. And it's something that I know that wasn't instilled in our minds when we were up and coming as baby stylists, and it wasn't something that was addressed, especially with mental health or how to relate to your clients. So definitely grounding into Your boundaries in terms of client relations, absolutely. Set them straight as to what kind of stylist do you want to be? Where do you set your line of who you are and how much accessibility will your clients have to you? So, with that said, let's get into when you first meet them. What does your consultation look like? Are you one of those stylists that say, what do you want as a client? Or are you going to be one of those hairstylists that say, I know what you want? And that also determines kind of like a boundary setting situation too, because otherwise that might give your client the go ahead to say, all right, every time I come here, then I can tell this person, the stylist, oh, don't tone me too long because then my color is going to get too dark. Well, do they really know that? Do they know how the toner works? Because you actually need to tone the hair for 30 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever color line you're using, to make sure that it processes all the way to ensure that it tones through all of the levels of color. So if you're going to be able to deal with that moving forward, or say, don't worry, I got this, you're one of those that doesn't want to be told, then you probably should say straight up, I know what I'm doing. You set the boundaries right then and there in the chair too. But think about it. It's all relative and it's all relatable, because a lot of the times, hopefully what the clients will come in and saying in that first visit is, you're the professional, and my favorite thing to hear is, I trust you. Because when they're saying, I trust you, already off the hitch, oh, that's like music to my ears. That means that they're going to hopefully be a very successfully easy client, and you're going to be able to navigate that appointment really well, and they're going to be just happy with anything that you do. I mean, within reason. I don't think they're going to come in and be like, oh yeah, do whatever you want, and you're going to give them a mohawk. I think the first consultation is so important as well. It really does set the bar and the standards of what you're able to do. Now, I'm a pretty conservative cutter on that first visit. There aren't many clients that I feel like, unless they say, I am looking for that drastic makeover change, that you can really go and overcut. If they say a trim, do a trim. And that's where you gain their trust and your credibility as a hairstylist. You don't want to say, all right, a trim, and then you're taking off an eyeball of 3 inches either. Unless, like, you okay it with them and it's dead ass hair that's like this much see-through. It's a judgment call, That's how we grow and learn together, right? So I like to talk during my appointments, and I don't want to say that that's my toxic trait, because honestly, like I said in my pilot, it's my success story too, because I feel like our clients are so educated nowadays, and we really have to challenge them a little bit too. I like to know how knowledgeable they are on their first appointment and put them to the test. So I'll say, I'm gonna cut your bangs to your chin. Is that okay? Or do you like them shorter? And when you style them with a round brush, they're gonna bounce up to your nose or to your cheeks. And usually it's a good way of gauging where their eyeball is seeing, because we all see things differently, especially color. Cutting is like usually no margin of error, because once you're cutting, that's it. It is done. You can't put that hair back. Color, we'll get into that. I saw a really good quote today, and I'm going to share it now. And it has terms to do with the pricing, but it says that you're paying for the haircut on your head, not the hair cut on the floor. And I thought that was so genius, and it really made so much sense. So I loved that relatability with just our craft in general was phenomenal. And it put into perspective just the artistry of what we do is second to none. It really does make a difference, that the work that you're putting in and the vision and the cutting and the sculpting, it was really the artistry behind what we do is so spectacular. And again, in that first consultation, what we have to remind our clients as hairstylists is our value and our worth. And again, it comes down to pricing, because where I am is a luxury salon. It is not a cheap haircut. We are taking you through a boutique style salon where there is complimentary parking. You know, there's just a lot to offer. So it does reflect in the price. And we're also in Bergen County, New Jersey. Not outpricing your haircuts when you first start is definitely important as well, because when you're a baby stylist too and you're starting out, you don't want to prorate yourself out of your comfort zone either. If you're taking too much time to do a haircut, say a woman's haircut, half hour, 45 minutes. Short hair might be a little shorter. For me, I was always more 45 minutes to an hour. And who wants to guess why? I will be taking comments for the first person to comment. Why does anybody think that I was an hour haircut or longer? I'll wait. It's because I talk too damn much. No, really. Listen, I am who I am. And is that going to change after 23 years? No. But is it going to give my clients an experience? Do they talk too much? Maybe they do too. Maybe it's a two-way street. But it's a good energy, and it is what it is. So I can work fast, and then I can work on vibe. And that's how I roll. And that's always been the stylist that I am. So if somebody is in a hurry, it's totally fine. I can get them in and out. I know how to work as quickly as possible. And you know, we're from Jersey. We're fast paced over here. So no problem. If I need to get those scissors moving, I can warm them up before you even get in the door. But if it's an experience and it's catch-up time and I haven't seen you in 6 months, because you should be coming in a little bit sooner than 6 months for your haircut, we're going to catch up a little, and I'll give you the shampoo of your life. That's all part of it. And if you got a hell of a lot of hair, it's going to take me a little longer to cut it, because, you know, we're going to layer it up too. If you're having a bad day and you're one of my clients and you come in and you don't feel like talking, it's cool. You just say word and we don't talk, because I think that that's also part of it, is being respectful of what kind of day somebody's having too. And just because I'm usually on the fly or I'm in work mode and I'm here, and even like I said in one of the pilot episodes, even if I'm not on a great vibe, I'm gonna still talk and have great hair, or I'll match your vibe. I'll check your vibe, but I can respect it as well. But and listen, there's no judgment. There really isn't. And I am so happy and so thrilled to meet anybody in any walks of life and any type of person. And I think that that's awesome to make the world go round. And you can't really fix anybody in the moment. And it's like the things that I've seen. If I can't get along with you or find something in common with you, you know, maybe I'll go home and feel a certain way and be like, damn, I failed today, because I'll be thinking about that. So it goes kind of both ways. Kick rocks, because I couldn't get to that point where I made you feel comfortable. So that makes me sad, and I might take that personally as a stylist if you didn't want to talk to me. But I'll get over it. In terms of client relations, I guess in personal life, it's nice to be friends with your clients. It's also very dicey. You know, the more you know, the more they get involved. Listen, I love my clients. They are my friends. I've known them for 20 years. Full to see the evolution of what 20 years has brought. So I do hug a lot of my clients, and I share that energy because I feel like it is personal. And also, like, being a stylist, we are in your personal space, and a lot of energy is exchanged. So I used to take a lot of heat for like hugging my clients or giving a hello. And I have a lot of male clientele too. And it was never an off-brand or weird kind of hug energy exchange. It was like a genuine, I'm happy to see you. Thank you for being here. And some of my men of 20 years are still part of my clientele. And I cherish that. So in a client relations situation, as a stylist, I feel like as long as you're putting forth your professionalism and your boundaries are set, that it is not a bad thing to exchange that kind of good energy. It really does make it personal. It really does make it happy. If that's the type of person and stylist that you want to be, it sets the tone. It's a good exchange. It's positive, and it's happy. So more good vibes, spread joy, spread positivity. Again, that's in my personal experience, and what works for me might not work for everybody else. But in client relations, it's definitely been a wonderful, positive exchange, and it's kept my happiness grounded and successful and positive. So with that said, keep the good energy flowing and keeping those clients behind the chair from that first consultation to however long that journey is. It's important, and it's definitely sustainable. So however that flow is, whether you see them every 4 weeks for color, every 6 months for a haircut, far and few between, maybe they visit and nobody else can cut their hair like you can. But I think it's always with love, admiration, respect, everything that you can give out and take back in too. And that's what being the good hairstylist and being good at client relations is all about. So if you took anything from what I had to say as a stylist up and coming, as somebody who has been in the industry for years, or even a client listening to somebody who's got a lot of love to give and passion for what they do, then I've did my job for the day. So sending you big hugs, and thank you again for tuning in to Hairly Relatable, the podcast. We are bi-weekly show here on YouTube, Spotify. One day I'll be on Apple Podcasts too. We'll figure that out one of these days. But for now, I'm getting really good at the mic, the computer, and editing. So I'm happy. We're all good. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Nicole. Follow me on all platforms at Hairly Relatable. And I will see you soon. Stay hairly relatable, everyone. Thank you. Bye. That was a good one. It was almost half hour. I need water, though. Okay, bye.